Hello, and thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Bite-Sized Cybercrime, the podcast where we discuss cybercrimes and cybersecurity news. Today we will be talking about Project Glasswing and Anthropic's new, slightly scary, AI model Claude Mythos. Project Glasswing is a potentially major change in the cybersecurity industry, which uses advanced AI to identify and address vulnerabilities in some of the most critical software around the world. It's being used by a small but powerful group of software companies like AWS, Apple, Broadcom, Cisco, CrowdStrike, Google, the Linux Foundation, Microsoft, Palo Alto, and even more, to secure critical software that basically runs the entire world. I mean, pretty much any organization that exists is using products like Microsoft Office and even Cisco for their networking. If there's vulnerabilities in there, then that means a lot of people are vulnerable. Anthropic claims that their Mythos model has surpassed all but the most elite-level humans in discovering and exploiting vulnerabilities. Due to concerns that, well, this would immediately be exploited by attackers, it is not publicly available for use and could potentially be dangerous if a threat actor is able to get their hands on the model. According to Anthropic, it has already identified thousands of zero-day vulnerabilities that have existed for decades, though they have all been patched now due to Anthropic working with these organizations to patch everything out. AI is likely to see a crazy amount of advancement soon, and I'm not sure the world is prepared for it. And I feel mixed on it too. There's a good reason for optimism, as this could ultimately make us more secure, but of course a model like this could also be abused. Another concern is, how is this going to change the industry as a whole? What role will humans play if AI is able to do all the discovery of vulnerabilities? It's a big fear that many people's jobs will be taken by AI, and I don't necessarily think that fear is entirely unreasonable or unfounded, especially in the IT sector. You can embrace AI and learn how to use it to the best of its abilities, but if AI can offload so much work, then I could see organizations greatly cutting staff to save money. After all, if AI can do a lot of your coding for you, maybe you don't need 5 developers, maybe you just need 1. However, keep in mind that with AI cyber defense, increasing attackers will also have far more advanced methods of attacking than what we see currently. Security is always a bit of a battle between defenders and attackers trying to get ahead of each other. This has been going on since, well, the beginning of information security. I think one of the jobs we will be seeing grow pretty rapidly is in security jobs that are related to securing AI itself. And I think this will become a lot more important as we not only see improvements in AI, but we see more organizations begin to adopt AI, and we see more things like data links linked to AI. Especially because AI still doesn't quite behave the way we think it will, or even directly instruct it to. We've seen in the past that it will ignore instructions and sometimes behave maliciously, like trying to kill someone, in a fictional scenario of course, to prevent itself from being shut down. Mythos has demonstrated that it can try to break out of a sandbox. However, this wasn't actually spontaneous at all, and it was instructed to do so by researchers to see what it's capable of. Another reason I don't necessarily think this is going to end cybersecurity careers is because it will actually likely create even more work for security teams who need to fix these bugs, at least in the short term. Maybe that's AI supported, but a lot of time triaging and fixing the bugs is still done by people. Many acknowledge that AI isn't quite ready to take over for people when it comes to maintaining code, though I think at some point in the future it likely will be. And until then, there's going to be a pretty big flood of new types of bugs that need to be patched. And to keep up with the workflow, teams will need to be adequately staffed to handle it. So we may actually have a slight boost in these types of roles, as well as any emerging AI and security roles that inevitably are going to come out of this, which is something I am quite interested in exploring in the future myself. I do think AI is partially a bubble, but whether you like it or not, some of it is definitely here to stay. A lot of people I know straight up no longer know how to do their jobs without talking to AI anymore. A lot of smaller companies that are AI-driven are likely gonna just crumble due to this, but the big players like Anthropic, I think they're here to stay, and I think they're making this very, very clear that they're here to stay. I think it will be interesting to see how we handle things like work in the future. Are we eventually going to move towards a society where a lot of people no longer need to work, and what's going to happen to those people? Either way, I'm pretty interested to see how Project Glasswing is going to start solving a lot of these vulnerabilities. and how many issues it may in itself create in the future as well. This isn't exactly new territory, but it is rapidly changing territory, and that comes with a lot of uncertainty. Thank you to Anthropic for details about Project Glasswing, as well as the Hacker News and the Register for even more information and some opinions on how things are going to look moving forward. I have to say I'm pretty mixed on a lot of this thought-wise, but I'll just have to see how it rolls out. Either way, thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Bite-Sized Cybercrime, and until next time, stay secure.